And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint, man. Happy Friday, man. How y'all doing out there? Yeah, y'all made it, man. Give it up to yourself. You made it. You made it. It's Friday. You made it. You made it. You made it. You know what I mean? Boy. So it's Friday. I'm talking about you made it. And what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about a virus that is out there that people are going crazy over. They're going crazy. Who's going crazy? The people in the news. Why? Because they gotta sell papers. They gotta have stories. They gotta tell you something. They gotta tell you it's crazy. They gotta tell you everything, the sky's falling. If they don't make any money. So here we are. We're gonna talk about it. I hope all is well on your end. All is well on mine. Again, I'm chilling. School starts on the 10th. So I'm just enjoying this last couple weeks or so. At least my daughter is. She does not want to go back to school. And she's enjoying herself. I keep telling her, like, oh, you go back on the 10th? Are you ready? She's like, nope. Having too much fun doing nothing. Growing up, being a kid, playing with her tech stuff. I actually I didn't go as hard as I should have on the summer. You know what I mean? Next summer, she'll be, going into the 8th grade. We're going to use our summer. She's going to do some learning. We're going to do something. I don't care if it's a coding course. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's volleyball. She's going to do something. This year, I let her just relax. Next year, she's going to have to do something. It's going to be something physical and something educational. Because, like I said, my daughter she's like 5'6" and growing. She's real young. She's going to be as tall as her papa. She's going to be at least 6 feet. And they've been saying that since the day she was born. So we're going to have to use that to our advantage. I'm thinking some volleyball, maybe some basketball, you know what I mean? Maybe swimming. I don't know. We're going to get her involved in sports. Right now, she's just all about virtual reality. She's all about VR. She's all about her games. She wants to be a gamer. I could be a gamer. I could be on Twitch. Like, all right, I guess that's no different than me saying that I can, be quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals when I was her age. But, I gave her this summer. Next summer belongs to me. It is what it is. Brother Jason, what's good? Welcome, man. Appreciate all the support, man. You always right there, man. You, Miss AKA Lady, you know me, Brother Mike. Y'all always right there for me. I appreciate it. So yeah, man, we're gonna go over this beer bug stuff, man. It's coming back. And the reason I want to talk about it is, again, you gotta be a critical thinker, man. You gotta be out there, you gotta be the think tank. You gotta sit out there and be the think tank. And again, that was one of my favorite characters in Rock and Rollers, brother. He's like, think tank, Archie. Nothing gets past the old think tank. Now you have to be thinking about what's going on, and you look at what's going on, what the Fed is doing with interest rates. You look at all of the quantitative tightening that's going on. The Fed is determined to fight inflation. Again, they only have one trick to do it. So money is getting expensive. The dollar is winking out there. And in order to fight inflation, that means that housing prices are going to go down. You see what's going on in the stock market. It's been going down. It's starting to do a little bit of a correct, it's kind of flattening it out a little bit, but it's going to continue to go down because people are buying dips. You see it's kind of going up and down, but it's mostly down. You're looking at cryptocurrencies. I mean, Bitcoin had a little bit of a baby rally. At one point, it got back up. I think it was over 22,000, but the last time I checked, I think it was at like 21 and dropping. But I mean, you look at Ethereum was doing really well. But the point being, the Fed is determined to get inflation under control, and that's going to affect the dollar. That's going to affect people's purchasing power and all that kind of stuff, right? So, Saint, what are you talking about money for? I thought you were going to be talking about people getting sick with this beer bug thing. Yes. What's the tie? Well, I'm wondering what the politicians are going to do. Are they going to do something stupid like shut down the economy again? Are they going to try that? Right? We already know there's some states, some cities, they probably absolutely will. It's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. And if you do stuff, if you force people to stay in their homes, you force people not to go to work. If you shut down the supply chain, we know what happens. That is horrible. That is a horrible thing. And if they do that, they're not going to print more money and send out stimulus checks. That's what I was thinking. That's why I want to have this conversation. So let's see what's going on. Snuggles, what's good, dude? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. Snuggles, I am working on your episode. It's on my board right now. The working title of the episode is How Warriors Move, Applying Sun Tzu, Musashi, Machiavelli, Clausewitz to Life and Business. I'm working on it. I'm going to need a week and a half to get this right because it's a lot of stuff I got to go through. Like this a lot. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. This, can you get it on there? Yeah. This is Clausewitz on war, right? This is the Western equivalent to the Art of War, which is Sun Tzu. And then the Book of the Five Rings, which is Musashi. Yeah, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude, you asked for something. I'm going to do it. But boy, oh boy, I'm going to need a little time to put that together. So Snuggles, I'm working on it. We're going to have that. We're going to have that show for you, man. Give me, like I said, give me a week and a half or so. Miss AKA Lady, what's good? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming through another day one of one. Like Miss AKA Lady is always making it happen, being here, showing support, showing love, not just here, but on other platforms like Suzette Speaks and stuff like that. Always being there and, just being a regal person, being the regal person that she is. So thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate it. And Snuggle 668, shutting down supply chains and having people stay at home is not horrible. I think it's a good thing. Do you understand the nature of chaos? Do you understand what chaos is used for? I have been in chaotic places. I have been in lawless places. I have been in places that, chaos, devoid of any structure. I've been there. I've seen what it looks like. I know what it looks like. I don't agree staying home. I don't agree. Not for what's going on with this. Not staying home for this. You know what I mean? It's basically a roided up flu. I don't agree with that. But we're gonna get into it. When this thing first hit, way back when, it made sense to me. They didn't really know what was going on. They didn't have anybody on the ground at the time in Wuhan and all this other kind of stuff where it's, allegedly started. People weren't on the ground. They weren't quite sure what they were dealing with. I understood that. But now, nah, I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense at all to shut down, to force people. I think we should put the information out there and let people make up their own minds. I don't think you should force people to do something like this, especially when we're talking about just wearing masks. Remember M95? Remember all that? When we had the real mask with filters and all that? That mask will help you. You know what I mean? But just wearing the cloth mask or whatever, you had people wearing double masks, you're doing all this kind of stuff. That's when it's like, I don't know, man, this is all whatever. And that's when I kind of look at Brother Tate, and he was talking about the dark side of the 1% and like control and just doing things like on a power trip. And that episode is coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk more about that. The dark side of the 1% and power tripping. You know what I mean? We're definitely going to do that. Miss AKA Lady, respect DL. That's nice. I really appreciate that. Now you earned that. I ain't give you nothing. You earned that, girl. You always there. Like I said, day one, making it happen. Making it happen out there paying $11 for watermelons. Woo! I'm still tripping on that one. I say you better find those people by the side of the road buying watermelons for $5 over here in Tampa. Big ones too. Big old watermelons. And then I'm going to read this one from Snuggle 668, and then we're going to get into it. Everything you were talking about that you don't like about what happens, I understand your sentiment, but when I was talking about chaos, controlled chaos is used in growth. It's like purging or pruning the trees, right? I get that. I mean, yes, I agree with you, and I think there are different stages of it. You talk about pruning the trees, absolutely. But there's, when you say chaos to me, I wasn't thinking like pruning the trees. I was thinking like wildfire. You know what I mean? Like when lightning strikes in the forest and wildfire purges, you know what I mean? Acres and acres and acres of trees, the overgrowth and all that, which is nature's way of recycling and starting over. So, I mean, I think it's a matter of degrees here. So yeah, I agree with you. And I see you made another comment, but let me start with what we have here, and then I'll read that one in a minute. Let me get into the show because I didn't really want to take too much of y'all time on a Friday. And I will be jumping on again later on today in a few hours. Some more information came out about the young man, the hero, who stopped an active shooter doing an active shooting event in a mall, in the food court of a mall. Some more details are coming out about what that young man did, and I got to talk about it. So I'm gonna be back on in a few hours to talk about that. I might even have Jay Swans on here with me, but he's busier than I am. So might even have Jay Swans on here with me, but I definitely want to talk about what happened. And kind of give a take on what he did and just show people just how amazing, or even, really, I mean, that what he did, the information that I'm getting, if this information is true, is like almost miracle status. So anyway, let's get into this. So this is CNN Health. This was Monday, July 18th. Why Omicron offshoot BA.5 is a big deal. We know who that guy is, Anthony Fauci. I would not want his job. I'm telling you right now. He's doing the best he can do, but oh boy. So we're gonna fly through this. There's some things I want to touch on this particular article. There's another article that came out last week. I think it was USA Today, which we're gonna jump to that, and then I'm gonna show you a graph on what's going on with infections and stuff like that nationwide. So we're gonna start here. And Snuggle 668, I see you. I'm gonna show your comments on the screen here, but I'm gonna read them in a little bit. I want to get into this, and then I'm gonna read it because you and I will go back and forth. There'll be a whole show just me and you going back and forth. And like I said, I'm working on your show. That's gonna be a good one. How warriors move, applying Sun Tzu, Musashi, Machiavelli, Clausewitz to life and business. I'm really excited about that because you brought that up on a couple shows back, and I be listening. Hey, if y'all want me to do a show, tell me. I will absolutely do my best to put something together. So here we go. Once again, beer bug, YouTube. Beer bug seems to be everywhere. If you feel caught off guard, you aren't alone. Right, the Omicron. Oh, you know what? I'm just reading this thing. I forgot to share it. How about I do that so y'all can see what I'm reading? And there it is. Let's hit that. And I'm going to try to make this a little bigger. All right. So here we are. So after the Omicron tidal wave washed over the United States in January and smaller rise in cases in the spring caused by the BA.2 subvariant, it might have seemed like the beer bug could be ignored for a while. After all, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimated in December that nearly all Americans have been vaccinated or have antibodies from past infections. Good thing, right? Surely, all that immunity bought some breathing room. But suddenly, people who had recovered from beer bug as recently as March or April found themselves exhausted, coughing, and staring at two red lines on a rapid test. How could this be happening again so soon? Well, that's how Mother Nature's works. You know what I mean? Mother Nature is on her page. We're on ours. In just over 2 months, BA.5 outcompeted its predecessors to become the dominant case of beer bug in the United States. Last week, the subvariant caused almost 2 out of every 3 new beer bug infections in the country, according to the latest data from the CDC. And I say beer bug instead of the proper title because before I started doing this, people who've been the OGs in the field, they say beer bug, they say the cerveza sickness, they say all these other things because I guess that triggers the algorithm and you can lose, get in trouble with YouTube. Yeah, freedom of speech. That's how it works, right? Lab studies of antibodies from the blood of people who have been vaccinated or recovered from recent beer bug infections have looked at how well they stand up against BA.5, and the subvariant can outmaneuver them. Some people who've had beer bug as recently as winter or even spring may again be vulnerable to this virus. And I mean, viruses are living things. They want to live like we want to live. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, they hurt us. So we have to fight them. It is a war. It is a war. Now, here's the thing. I mean, like I said, it's like the flu on steroids. I mean, you're going to get sick. You know what I mean? Eat healthy, stay healthy. But we can't say that in America, can we? Because people want, you don't want to body shame. Don't want to body shame. You know what I mean? For old folks, nothing really can do about that. They're old. But I'm an old folk. I still try to eat right. I stay active. I have a really good immune system. I haven't caught beer bug. At least I haven't been officially told I had beer bug. I caught something in LA to put me on my butt for a week. That was really, really, really bad. My doctor said I didn't have the antibodies. She said I wasn't the only one. No one looked into it. No idea what I had. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a spike. It was a spike inside my body, that was some of the stuff that the Army pumped into me. I don't know. Maybe it was the anthrax was acting up. I don't know. But it put me, I don't get sick often, y'all. I don't. And I can count on my hand how many times I've been bedridden with something. I was out. High fevers, all that, the chills, the sweats, everything. I couldn't keep anything down. My bed was soaking wet. I've never been that sick in my life. I mean, honestly. And my doctor had no idea what it was. And this was right at the beginning of the beer bug pandemic. So, but yeah, I don't have the antibodies, but I did get the vaccine. I got the vaccination. Again, I haven't been sick. And that's just me, because that's just me. This is nothing scientific, just me. I'm just telling you my personal experience. So, this variant, people are kind of like, well, what is it? What is the variant? Like what's going on? So the next article that I have on deck talks about the variants and, what they mean and where they came from and all this other kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. I read that about a week or so ago. We don't know about the clinical severity of BA.4 and BA.5 in comparison to the other Omicron variant. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said White House beer bug response team briefing Tuesday. We do know it can be more transmissible and more immune evading. People with prior infections, even with BA.1 and BA.2, are likely still at risk for BA.4 and BA.5. It makes sense. These things, they mutate. And once they mutate, they become something brand new. Right? They're still new. They're different. They're similar, but they're different. And they're doing their thing. The virus is trying to live. That is just how it works. I'm not trained, but that makes sense to me. A full-on wave. The result is that we're getting sick in droves as Americans have switched to more rapid at-home tests. Official case counts currently hovering around 110,000 new infections a day reflect just a fraction of the true disease burden. We estimate that for every reported case, there are 7 unreported. Ali Mokdad, professor of health matrix science in the University of Washington Institute for Health Matrix and Evaluations, a smart person, wrote in an email. Other experts think other experts think the wave could be as much as 10 times higher than what's being reported now. Again, that makes sense. People aren't getting as sick when they get infected. People aren't needing to rush to the hospital. They're not as many, we're not overloaded in our intensive care systems. The doctors know what they're dealing with, so they know how to treat it. There are vaccines out there for it. There are people getting sick and they built up immunity for it. So they said earlier in this article, maybe we're getting close to some sort of herd immunity kind of thing. Most people, if not all people, bodies have been exposed. So once your body is exposed to it, it can fight it. Even though it's a little different variant, your body can still fight it. And then we can help our bodies fight it with, different stuff that modern science can do. But yeah, that's pretty much what they're talking about here. And the article goes on. It's like here, it says it may not seem like a very big deal because vaccines and better treatments have dramatically cut the risk of death from beer bugs. Still, about 300 to 350 people are dying on average each day from beer bug, enough to fill a large passenger jet. I think this paragraph right here might be a little misleading. I'm going to show some stuff in a minute as to why I think that. So remember that they were saying that 300 to 350 people are dying on average each day. And it sounds like a really big number, but I think that might be a little bit misleading. So let me come out of this screen so I can see if we'll get to what Snuggles was saying earlier. And here we go. So, yeah, I just want to get back to catch up on the chat. Snuggles668, everything you're talking about that you don't like about what happened, I understand your sentiment. Oh, we already read that. Talking about pruning the tree. We already read that one. And in order to make certain trees grow, you have to prune them so they make more energy from certain branches and put into base of everything so it can grow bigger and more. Yes, I agree. We are on the same page. I ain't mad at you. I was just thinking different. Like, you were talking about pruning and I was talking about wildfires. You know what I mean? Like, same thing. Like, it's we're on the same page. I do believe we're not, or at least we're not far off. At least we're in the same book. Let's put it that way. I don't think people understand they can make themselves expendable because the purpose of what is being done is no different than what Bill Gates has been talking about for many years. I have read some of Bill Gates' statements, but I haven't really followed Bill Gates that much. When he's talking about money and stuff like that, that seems to make, back in the past, that seems to have made media more, and I would read some stuff here and there. But I'm gonna have to get into that. Maybe drop some links in the chat with reference to what you're talking about, what Bill Gates is actually saying. I'll definitely read it because I can't say that I'm familiar. Miss AKA lady, it takes a special type of person to be in Fauci's job. Absolutely, I would not want his job. You couldn't pay me to do it. I'm sorry. That one right there. No, I couldn't do it. Snuggles, yes, I know you will do that, and I'm just waiting to hear the story, I'm with you. You keep on reading. I enjoy your teaching and learning a lot. It puts a lot of things in place. I appreciate that. Snuggles, that's what's up. Thank you. That's what's up. I really do appreciate that. Thanks. That's pretty cool. That's hardcore. I need to get a button for that. I don't have a button for that. I'm looking. Nope. I need to get a button that shows that I'm appreciative or something. Maybe I'll get a crowd saying aw or something like that. I'm gonna get a button for that. But thank you very much. Miss AKA, because you can only chase a variant. Yeah, you can only chase it because it goes so fast. They keep changing. Snuggles, who told you this? Something such as freedom of speech? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe I saw it in a movie, read it in a comic book or something. You're right about that, though. People, freedom of speech. You don't get sick often, but when you do, right, look out. And like I said, I have a pretty strong immune system. You know what I mean? Thanks to the United States Army, man, I got all that experimental stuff floating around. I was hoping I'd be able to fly or something, like be an X-Man or something, but that didn't happen. Miss AKA lady, exactly. The only way to protect yourself is to stay healthy. Once I learned you can get 100% protect yourself from it, I immediately got serious about my health. Yeah. Once you learn you can't 100% protect yourself from it. Yeah, you got to eat right, stay right, work out, sleep, get your sleep in there, do all that kind of stuff, man. You still might get sick, but hopefully your body's immune system will be strong enough to fight off whatever infection manages to attack you. Miss AK, nope, you're right. It's weird how it's inappropriate to talk about the best form of protection, eating right, eating healthy. This virus is, this virus is what was the term they used to use for military guys? Like when they basically tell us they really want us to go in there and just eradicate folks, they would tell us to use extreme prejudice. This virus is doing that with fat people and old folks. It is dealing with them with extreme prejudice. You know what I mean? How do you fix that? Work on your weight. Get healthy. You know what I mean? So, Miss AKA late 10 times higher than what's reported. It's everywhere. Herd immunity should kick in soon. Hopefully, if it does, hopefully. Thanks for all of the interaction and all the chat, y'all. I'm gonna try to keep up as best I can, but there's a few more things I do want to read, and I'm trying to keep the show under an hour. But if it goes over, it goes over because I like rocking with y'all. Wonderful 34. What happened to Mr. Potato Head? Wonderful 34. Hello, all. Mr. DL Joe's in the chat. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Snuggles, Bill Gates vaccines are a miracle. It's mind blowing. Someone could say the opposite. Yeah, science is amazing. I love science. The non-vaxxers, I don't get it. I do not get it. But hey, man, I told you I believe in freedom of speech. You should have the right to choose in this country. How does the body fight off infection? Does anyone know? I don't. I never studied that. I have a general idea of how it works. Your body attacks viruses that it recognizes as being foreign, that shouldn't be there. Your antibodies go and they attack it. Now, we covered this in biology in high school. I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't paying attention. I did a lot of cutting. I wasn't in class a lot. I haven't watched too many documentaries. I haven't read anything on it at all because I really didn't find it fascinating. But I do understand the basic concept of how our body fights off stuff. Matter of fact, I think I saw it in a movie when a dude shrunk himself down and then he went into somebody's body, the Incredible Shrinking Man or something. I can't remember. Anyway, maybe I could find somebody. Maybe I do know. I have friends who have doctors in their family. Maybe I could get them on and talk about that one day. But Snuggles already got a show I'm working on for you, and that's a tough show. So that's the only show you get. You getting that show that we've already mentioned. So yeah, I don't really know. It's like, damn, y'all type fast. Yeah, they do when they're in here making it happen. Snuggles, what's needed to add to the body and fighting off infection? Does anyone know? I don't know. But when these scientists put together these vaccines, that's what's used to attack these things to help your body fight these infections off. But again, I'm very ignorant of the facts. I really don't know. You know what I mean? Wonderful ones in there. So, all right. And I'm going to continue on. I'm jumping around. I will be pinning these two articles in here below when this is over. But I just wanted to kind of jump around here a little bit because they were talking about like, what does this mean? They're talking about how many people, like I said, 300 to 350 people on average are dying a day from beer bug. I don't know. And then, of course, doctors are saying this is unacceptable. Daily hospitalizations are also climbing in the United States. The fraction of patients needing intensive care is up by about 23% over the past 2 weeks. And other countries are experiencing BA.5 waves too. So, all right, it's spreading. Yeah, we're jumping on airplanes and going around the world. The world is definitely smaller. And then people were, these doctors are just kind of saying what they have to say about this pandemic. Like what this final line here is: the pandemic is nowhere near over. It never will be if you're looking at it in them terms. Like, beer bug is here to stay. It's like I said, it's the flu. It's going to be a beer bug season. It's like it's a flu season. It's like a cold season. It is what it is. It's here. It ain't going nowhere. You're not going to be here to eradicate it. You're not. And even when you do eradicate it, they tend to come back. Polio. It was an article out I read a couple days ago about how there are polio cases being here in America. I want to say in the Northeast. I want to say New York. They're finding people with polio again, which were paralyzing people. We had eradicated polio, and now it's back. So just keep that in mind, people. What's at stake with continued spread? There are almost more insidious health risks to consider. A recent preprint study found that compared the health of people who have been infected one or more times with beer bug found that the risk of new and sometimes lasting health problems rose with each subsequent infection, suggesting that reinfections are not necessarily benign. Now, again, this is all new. This might be a thing. You're hearing stories about folks who get infected and then they have these long lasting effects. This might be a thing. This is still brand new. Science is going to continue to work on this and try to figure it out. Although vaccinations reduce the risk of getting long beer bug, a certain percentage of people have lasting symptoms after a breakthrough infection. Again, okay, you got to take it. These are the reports coming back from the front. This is the situation on the ground. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? They have the data. They know what they're talking about. They're going to try to figure out something to answer this issue. That's another reason why high numbers of beer bug cases are a big deal, because the virus is still spreading wildly. It has every opportunity to mutate to make even fitter and more infectious versions of itself. It's doing this faster than we can change our vaccines, leaving us stuck in a beer bug rinse repeat period of the pandemic. And this is what to what Miss A.K. lady was saying. There is no 100% guarantee that you can't catch it, right? And if you do get it, it's going to be now they're saying that you can get it again. You can be reinfected. And on Tuesday, Dr. Fauci, y'all know who he is, pleaded with Americans to use all available tools to stop the spread of the virus, including masking, ventilation, and social distancing. Again, it makes sense. But I mean, are people going to do it? Probably not. But, it makes sense. We need to keep the levels of the virus to the lowest possible level so that is our best defense. So that is our best defense. If a virus is not very robust, replicating and spreading, it gives it less of a chance of mutation, which gives it less of a chance of evolving of another variant. And that's what Fauci said in a briefing. In fact, this is already happening. So, the fight is still very much raging with beer bug and the scientists on planet Earth. It's all of planet Earth versus this virus. The war ain't nowhere near over. But the good thing is that people, that these people were able to produce a vaccine. Like, the scientists understand what they're dealing with. They're not working in the dark, right? They're not doing any of this. And like now I'm just I see a whole bunch of stuff here. Snuggles, I see you writing like crazy and I do love it. Thank you so much. DRO4G, welcome. Never seen you before in the chat, but welcome. I see what's going on. People are still taking advice from a known liar, AKA Dr. Fauci, sheep, right? Laughing my ass off. People you need to vet your own information. I agree with you there. I agree with you there, Dro. 4G. I mean, the guy's in a horrible position. He's just a scientist trying to put out information, but his information gets skewed because he's dealing with politicians, and politicians don't want bad news. They want to be able to control the message, to tell people whatever they want to tell people to keep them voting for him. Fauci's just trying to do his job. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, he lied. He got caught up lying. He's stuttering and trying to figure it out. He's not a politician. He has a shitty job. You know what I mean? He has a shitty job. So it's up to us to take all this information and, again, put it into the old think tank and try to figure it out. I mean, it's hard. I'm not saying that we need to come up with our own, help the scientists come up with a cure. I'm not saying that. I don't have that skill set. If you had a skill set, outstanding, go do you. But we need to figure out what's going on, especially when it comes to these vaccines, to these boosts, when it comes down to locking people into their homes, when it comes down to shutting down the economy, right? You see how it all builds on each other. Our country won't survive another stupid call like that. We're going to lock down this country. We're going to shut down this economy. Our country can't sustain, they can't survive that. We can't print out more money. We can't do more stimulus. Our country can't survive that, in my opinion. There's no way we can survive that. So, and we're going to get into some numbers here in a second. Google does a really good job of tracking. They put information out there. Now, how accurate is the information? I don't know, but it holds up against other numbers that I get from other outlets around the world. Miss AKA lady, the polio news got me too. I was a part of the Rotary Club, and their supported polio efforts. They said polio hasn't been in America since forever, and that's true. That was a red flag to me. Yeah. Polio used to leave people paralyzed all the time. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he had polio. He was paralyzed. President of the United States during World War II, won the war under his leadership, won the war. And when he died, which was right before the end of the war, America was devastated. We lost a great leader. But yeah, he had polio. Active man, cut down in his prime. I mean, that nasty disease. Nasty disease. You go from being able to run and jump and ride horses and climb trees and do all this stuff to bam, you can't even use your legs anymore. So yeah, they got after that, got rid of it, and now it's back. Crazy. And I wear glasses, y'all. I didn't bring my glasses up here, and I don't want to make my screen bigger because it'll mess up what I'm trying to do. You know, old people got to do it a certain way. I got to do it my way. So when I'm sitting here squinting trying to see words, y'all know why. But and then this article goes into meats BA 2.75. But before we get into that, I wanted to pull up another screen share. It's another article that was, because you're hearing all these terms, and that's another way they try to keep people off balance and confused. They throw all these terms out here, man. Like, what the hell are we talking about? They'll throw the terms out, but they won't necessarily explain it. And this is something that I don't think that is particularly done on purpose. You know, you guys know I was an air traffic controller. I'm retired now. But if you ever talk to an air traffic controller or anyone who has a specialized field about what they do, they immediately go into their terms that they use in that field. Like, so the way air traffic controllers talk is a different language. You will have no idea what we're talking about. Right there, like when you go from one airport to the next, just like each airport has its own little subvariant of languages. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm going to need a tech route to Orange County. You know what I mean? Hey, reroute that guy, take him out Fillmore. You have no idea what I just said. If you're down in Miami at that airport working, hey, rain on the pane, no lasso. Anybody know what I just said? Anybody know what that means? Right? If you could put in the chat, if you could put down in the chat what that means. Rain on the pane, no lasso. DTA changes, wind goes out Hetley. If you could tell me what that means, I'll take you out with me. We'll get a bottle. You'll be able to kick it with Uncle Saint, a party night for Uncle Saint. If you could tell me what that means, right? We have our own language. Scientists, doctors, police, military, they all have their own language. So when people get into their world and they pop out of their world for a minute and they talk to the rest of us, they go right into that language thinking that we know what they're talking about. And 9 times out of 10, we have no idea what they're talking about. So let me find it. Here it is. It's an article from the USA Today that I wanted to bring up and show you guys. See if I can't make it bigger. Yeah, make it bigger. That's what she said. Oh. So, damn. I'm trying to find this article, and I have found it. USA Today's website is just, it's crazy. And here it is. So, catch up with chats real quick. Miss AKA lady, don't even mention the second shutdown. Yeah. That is truly scary. That is truly scary. That will break everything. It would destroy the country. It would absolutely destroy this country. I understand what you're saying, but they are not talking to each other. They are talking to the public, so they have to put it in understandable language. And I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's why most entities make you go through a PR course first, and they teach you these things. But if you just, you snatch a doctor here, a lot of times they'll have people on a panel at the White House, and they'll bring in these scientists, and these scientists are like, yo, I was just in the lab working on these variants, and now you got me talking to the world. And again, they're going to speak in their normal work tongue. They're going to just talk the way they talk to their colleagues, and we're not going to understand what they're saying. So, I mean, and it kind of, the onus is on us to kind of, go figure it out, or at least ask the question, hey, can you explain that to me? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, again, they're just not thinking about it. They're just not thinking about it. They're just saying what they say every day. And they just, people like, huh? What the hell are you talking about? What, Winko, Fillmore, Avon, what is this? Dolphin? What are you talking about? Right? But these words have very, direct meanings. And and like air traffic, those terms I just used that came out of air traffic. So you go into other realms, these words have, very distinct meanings, and everyone's accustomed to the lingo. But when you go talk to the regular world, it's like, So, and let's see, Snuggles, does rain on the pane have something to do with the weather? I know lasso has something to do with the radar. Yes, rain on the pane has something to do with weather. Absolutely. Lasso has nothing to do with radar. See what I mean? You see what I mean? Lasso is land and hold short operations, which, normally we'll get into that another day, but it has nothing to do with radar. But good try. Hey, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I say you snuggle trying to make it happen. This AKA lady, words are important. They absolutely are. So here we are with this USA Today article. Adriana Rodriguez wrote this thing. She does a lot of work for USA Today. I've actually read a lot of her articles. She's pretty cool. July 20th of this year. This thing breaks down, we're hearing these terms, BA.5, BA.2.75, BA.1, BA.2, BA.4. What the hell is all that, right? That's what I was thinking. I mean, man, what the hell is all this? So the BA.5 subvariant of Omicron dominates the summer wave of COVID, of a beer bug. They almost got me. Of beer bug in the USA, making up nearly 80% of new cases, according to the CDC. So in the most recent week ending Wednesday, 29 states reported more cases than the week before. A USA Today analysis of Johns Hopkins University data shows 20 states had more deaths than a week earlier. Hospitals in 35 states reported more beer bug patients and hospitals in 25 states and had more patients and intensive care beds, according to Health and Human Services data. Here's what you should know about BA.5. When did BA.5 start? It was detected in the U.S. At the end of April, and that's what the experts are saying. The subvariant was first seen in South Africa, but that doesn't mean that it arrived to the U.S. from South Africa. And this is from David Dowdy, an epidemiologist at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Researchers don't know where it came from because of limited surveillance. So they don't have a whole lot of money to track all this stuff. So here's what I wanted to get to. What does BA.5 stand for? And it says that the World Health Organization uses Greek alphabet as a classification system to simplify understanding and avoid stigmatizing countries where the strands of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes beer bug 19 are identified. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that they came up with a whole nother classification system based on the Greek alphabet, and this is what they're using to identify these variants. I didn't know that. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So once I read that, I'm like, okay, and this came from USA Today. The World Health Organization named the original B.1.1.529 variant after the 15-letter Omicron, which within variants, the agency assigns numbers to sublineages. So now they're getting into the details. These represent the numbers and types of mutation within that particular variant. This is from Dr. David Weber, professional in medicine, pediatrics, epidemiology, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. It's a way of knowing which variant they're dealing with. Okay, again, all right, this makes sense. They need to know that. They're trying to figure this thing out, right? The BA.5 is classified as an Omicron variant, but has mutations that has distinguished it from other Omicron subvariants such as BA.1, BA.2. And then it kind of gets into the symptoms and stuff like that, which again, this is all beer bug. All the symptoms are going to be similar, right? Clinicians said the BA.5 symptoms are similar to those seen in previous variants, including congestion, headaches, cough, and fever. Children tend to have more gastrointestinal symptoms such as nausea, abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, compared with adults. And that came from Dr. Claire Buccini, I think that's how you pronounce that, an infectious disease Children's Hospital. She's seen more cases of croup in kids. The Mayo Clinic defines croup as an infection of the upper airways that obstructs breathing and causes a barking cough. And coming up, like growing up in the 70s, having a whooping cough, whatever they used to call it. Yeah, that was the thing. I had that growing up as a kid. That hurts too. I remember that. I distinctly remember the pain behind coughing because you felt the cough coming and you just started crying because you started coughing, you couldn't stop. And it was that barking. I mean, oh man, it hurt. It hurt to drink. It hurt to swallow, but you had to take your medicine. Oh man, that shit was bad. And then she goes on to say, certainly this is an infection to pay attention to for parents of children, because while most children don't require hospitalization, a few do. Yeah, that's just part of being a parent. You got to, know when to take them to the hospital, know when to take care of my, know when to take them to grandma. you gotta know what to do, because that's scary being a parent. That is so scary. And it goes into how long does BA.5 last, right? So again, this was a few weeks ago. This is when people first started talking about this BA.5 variant. Though some people don't experience any symptoms of BA.5, experts said those who do can expect to feel sick for a few days up to a few weeks. It varies on a wide spectrum. And that's from Dr. Mobeen Rathmore, professor at the University of Florida College of Medicine and a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Infectious Diseases. Buccini was the other doctor, said the normal causes of illness is 1 or 2 weeks of acute symptoms. But those who are hospitalized may have the disease for much longer. We are very familiar with the prolonged hospitalizations from complications from beer bug, and they know about that. And it's like, well, can you get BA.5 twice? A lot of people was like, oh, you get it and you're good, you got immunity, or you get the shot, you're good, you got immunity, you catch it, can't get it again. Right? That was bullshit. Right? There's limited data to support whether a person can get BA.5 twice, but health experts say it's likely to happen within the first month after infection. So it's unlikely to happen within the first month after infection. Okay, when the antibodies are strongest, I guess, that kind of makes sense. But as time passes, those antibodies, I guess, dissipate. And then bam, it's like you never had it before. Like now the antibodies get so weak that you can get hit with a variant, and then that variant gets you sick. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Again, I'm no expert, y'all. I'm just trying to, it's all in the old think tank. I'm just trying to think my way through it. For the first couple of weeks, if you have a healthy immune system, you're probably going to be fully resistant to get reinfected. All right. So again, back to if you have a healthy immune system, you're probably going to be good, right? You're probably going to be good. But if you don't, you might get, you might have a problem. You might just have a problem. That protection wanes, he said. If a person is exposed to beer bug, it's possible to be reinfected with the same variant 2 to 4 months after infection. So this thing could come back and come back and come back. Unlike the flu, we would get the flu. You would be good for that strain. If you took a flu shot, which I never did. I took one flu shot and it made me sick. And even my doctor got mad at me. She was like fussing at me. Well, that was just, you can't just not take any more flu shots. You must take flu shots. I'm like, look, I took a flu shot. I got sick. I ain't taking another flu shot. I'm not doing it. I've never gotten the flu until I got a flu shot. Then I got the flu. I'm not doing it. But she sat me down for 15 minutes. This was in Beverly Hills, when I was living in Beverly Hills. She sat me down. I'm like, I understand, doctor. I love you. I really do, because you care for me. You care for my family. But I'm not doing it. I took a flu shot and got sick. I'm not doing it. She was like, and I was a lot younger too. Like maybe when I get old, right? When I cross that barrier, when I pass 60, you know what? Maybe I will start getting flu shots. Because I'm older, maybe my body needs a little bit of help. But I ain't doing it now. It's unlikely BA.5 will keep circulating over the next few months. As the population builds up immunity against the subvariant, it's more likely that another variant or subvariant of Omicron will emerge as the virus attempts to bypass the immunity and affect as many people as it can. Again, when was this? This was earlier this year, I think. I don't think this was this month. This was a few months ago when this article came out. And they're already talking about the different subvariants, right? It's a bit of a cat and mouse game between the virus and our immune systems. If we don't see another subvariant emerge for the next couple of months, then yes, absolutely, people will be reinfected with BA.5. So it's almost saying that we need other subvariants to come out to defeat the current variant. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And then it goes on, how are BA.4 and BA.5 different? What other COVID-19 variants are there? BA.4 and BA.5 share mutations with other Omicron subvariants such as BA.1 and BA.2, but certain additional mutations within the spike protein, according to the National Institute of Communicable Diseases, a public health institute in South Africa. That's what they're saying. Now we're about to get into the weeds, I think. The two subvariants are identified to each other in terms of spike protein. Yep, we're getting into the weeds. Spike protein mutations, the institute said, but differ in mutations that are outside the spike gene. I'm already lost. They're similar. I get what they're saying. They're real similar. And then they're starting to get down into the, into the weeds as to why they're similar. Now we into these spike proteins. This one has this spike protein. This one has that spike protein. It's like, oh, here we go. Need a pro. And it's BA.5 immune immunity better than BA.4. Okay, so that makes BA.5 a better candidate. That's probably why we're seeing it do what it do today. However, it's not believed to be more transmissible or cause more severe disease. So it's going to get you sick, but it ain't going to kill you. That's what I'm reading. I don't know what y'all are reading. That's what I'm reading. Experts for except for a few random cases, there's probably no other coronavirus. They got me. Beer bug variants in circulation outside Omicron and its sublineages. Delta and the variants that preceded it are likely out of the picture. That's good. Sounds like the other ones are gone. Thing of the past. So all we got to worry about is this BA.5. Right? Got to worry about this BA.5. So we know a little bit about how they classify and where these names come from. We know a little bit about that. Wow, Snuggles is all over the chat. I see you, Snuggles. Like all over the chat. I am not about to read this book you typed up in here. I'm going to read this when I finish talking, though. I'm going to go back and watch it in the replay. And y'all don't be afraid to comment. Snuggles don't bite. You know what I mean? Might nibble a little bit, but definitely ain't going to be no biting. So there's another thing I wanted to show you guys, and I'm going to wrap this up because we're coming up on an hour. Because I was reading these things and I was talking to a buddy of mine in California, and he actually put me onto this chart that I'm about to share with you guys. And he was like, man, look at this. Look at this. You read these articles, and he's out in California. He's in the LA area. So it sounds to me that they're gearing up to shut it down again. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm not in California. You couldn't pay me to go out there. But my buddy is still there, and I keep trying to get him to leave. Like, man, why are you there? Come here. Come get away from there. But he loves it out there. So anyway, it sounds to me that they're gearing up. They're getting people ready to make them sit in the house. They're gearing up. You know what I mean? And they're using articles like this, and remember the other article we read, they're talking about 300 to 350 people a day or falling victim to beer bug and all this kind of stuff. Like, they're dying a day. So it was like, what? And then he showed me something. I'm about to show you guys what he showed me. Here it is. And I'm going to make this big because I want everybody to see it. I'm going to make this big. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get that Beavis and Butthead. I'm going to get that. He said big. That's what I need. I'm going to find that. Oops, I'm trying to grow the wrong screen here. All right. So here it is. Like you see this is Google. You can just go to Google, type in that, you know what I mean, which is up here, and then these stats come up, right? So these are new cases. You can go by state. We're going by United States. Looks like, is this Florida, Hillsborough County? Okay, so it automatically self-populates, I guess, by wherever your computer is set up. All right, so we're going to leave it where it is. New cases, United States, Florida, Hillsborough County, all time, right? So we got this up. It gives you new cases of the lighter blue lines, and then you got the 7-day average and all that, right? So we're looking at this. So we go here. The 7-day average of new cases, 1,409. That's the 7-day average. New cases, 0. But 7-day average, 1,409. So then you go over here where it says cases, right? You can go over here and it gives you an opportunity to hit. You can choose death. All right, well, here we go. Same day, same data, 0 deaths. The 7-day average is 5. 5 a week. 5 a week. So, and we can, like my buddy was talking about California because they want to shut that down. So let's go to California, right? Let's go to see when it comes up. We probably got to change it to LA County. Let's go to LA County, which is where my buddy is. Los Angeles County. That's where I used to live, right? And let's go. It's going to load up, and let's go back to new cases. So same thing. We go to July 21st. New cases 8,627 new cases. And that's the 7. And the 7-day average is 6,697 new cases of beer bug. Right. That's the 7-day average. So they have I guess new cases are 8,627, but the 7-day average is 6,697. Right. So like a 2,000 difference. Right. Those are the new cases. You look at that and he's telling me these are the news headlines. This is what they're leading with. Oh, my goodness. Look at all these new cases. 8,600 new cases. The 7-day average is 6,600 cases. This is crazy. It's out of control again. They're preparing to lock people in the house. Right. Because this is dangerous. This is dangerous. You got to stay home. Where's your mask? You got to do what you got to do that. All right. Let's see how many people are actually dying. Right? Same data, same data set, same day, July 21st. Deaths, 18. 7-day average, 13. All those cases, 8,600 cases, 6,600 7-day average of cases. 18 people are dying. The 7-day average is 13. And you would have to go to the morgue to find out cause of death. But look at the numbers. Look at the difference. They're going to lock you in the house to keep you safe, right? We got to lock you in the house, man. There's 8,600 new cases. The 7-day average is, 6,700. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. We got to lock you in the house. And you're looking, oh my God, this sounds bad. But then you go over and you look at it. Well, how many people are dying? 13 a week? 13. We're talking about LA County. I guarantee you more people are dying in homicides in LA County than that. 13. I guarantee you more people are dying in LA County from car accidents. Guarantee it. I bet you $100 to a donut. More people are dying. I bet you more kids are dying from skateboarding into the street and getting run over on accident or jumping over something and hurting themselves or drowning. I bet you it's more than that, but they're going to lock you in the house. And here's, people, I'm not some right guy, far right and all that kind of stuff. That's not me, y'all. I'm being 100. That's not me. You know what I mean? I see that stuff and it's like, again, the think tank. The think tank. You can go all across America, man. You look at stuff, man. Look at New York. Let's see what they're doing in New York. And then I'll wrap up because we're about an hour here, and I got to prepare for the next show. I really want to do this show about this heroic young man who saved those people's lives. There's New York. I don't know any counties in New York, so we'll just do all counties when it comes up. When the data comes up, I don't know New York like that, but we'll just do all counties. Here we go. July 20th. The 7-day average 7,500. New cases are almost 9,000 new cases. The 7-day average 7,500. This is in New York, right? So let's look at how many people are dying. It's almost flatline. Look at that. The deaths are almost flatline. There's nothing more. There's no place geographically that's more condensed than New York. I know it's just for the whole state of New York, and I don't know what I don't know what county New York City is in. I don't know the county. If anybody in the chat knows what county New York City is in, please put it in the chat so we can look at that county. But look at New York overall. Deaths, 17. The 7-day average, 21 from beer bug. And I'm telling you, if California locks them down, New York will be right behind them trying to lock them down. I mean, it's crazy. But people aren't thinking. They just They just consume whatever they're being told by their leaders, quote unquote, and they just do what they're told. They just do what they're told. How are you going to do that, man? People, fool me once. You know what I mean? If you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? They got us the first time. Right? They got us the first time. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Is that yeah. It says look up respiratory deaths. I mean, you can get into all that. You know, I'm just kind of looking at this, and I don't think it gives you cause of death. So the coroner, I guess, is the doctor and or the coroner is making a determination that this person died from, you know, beer bug or whatever, or complications from beer bug or whatever, and that's how they make the determination, right? But you can look at the average. There are a whole bunch of new cases, and then the new case spike does not correlate with the spike in death. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Unless someone has some information that I haven't seen. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah, like New York. I don't know any of the counties in New York. Oh, New York City. Bam. Let's look at New York City. It's loading up right now. All right, so we're in New York City. We're in new cases, right? July 21st, new cases 5,321, 7-day average 4,578, right? That's not even a spike. Look here. You look here, January 13th of this year, they were at 33,205 new cases. The 7-day average was 37,006. That was January of 2022. You get to July of 2022, 0 new cases. And the 7-day average is like almost 4,700, right? You get over here, July 21st, new cases are 5,321, like I said, and the 7-day average 4,578. And let's look at how many people have been lost. And I'm not trying to make light. It's serious. Like people who lose their lives from it is serious. I'm not trying to make light of that. But I just looking at the data. Right? So, and we're looking here, 17 deaths, 7-day average is 11. 17 deaths. Look, the highest peak was January of this year, 0 deaths. The 7-day average was 122. That was a lot. You know, 122 people, you know, a 7-day a week, 122 people a week lost to beer bug, but then you get to July, 11. I mean, it's 11. So it's right. The information is out here, y'all. Like if we can read these articles, we can be scared if you want to be scared. You can lock yourself in. You can put on your mask. Like I don't have a problem with wearing a mask. You know, I was in Japan. We was South Korea, Japan, and China. I don't know, about 6-7 years ago, I think it was. I can't remember when we went exactly, but I got sick. We were halfway through the trip. We're in Tokyo. I got sick. I'm starting to sneeze or whatever. I'm starting to get the sniffles. I went and bought a mask. And I wore a mask because I didn't want to get anybody on our cruise sick. I didn't want to get anyone else sick. So I wore a mask. That was the last night we were in Japan. We went to Beijing, Shanghai, and then we came home. And I was like sick. The cold got me a little bit. You know what I mean? I was probably tired from the travel and all that kind of stuff too. So, you know what I mean? I would, instead of hanging out late with everybody, I would eat dinner, then I would go to the room and get some rest. And I was drinking a lot of liquids and stuff like that, eating a lot of fruit. But I wore a mask because I didn't want anybody to get sick. Right? I wasn't, it wasn't a big thing. So, I mean, I think that whole mask thing is silly. People refusing to wear a mask. Okay, it is what it is. I ain't mad at you. That's fine. Think how you want to think. Again, this is America. Do what you want. But if you out, you snick, you feeling sick or whatever, and you walk up on me and you sneeze. I was out a few days ago. I was out at one of our restaurants down here. It's a Cincinnati chain in Tampa that we go to. Shout out to Skyline Chili. I like to go there because it makes me, I feel like I'm at home while I'm sitting there, like a bunch of Cincinnati stuff is around. It's cool. So shout out to Skyline Chili. So I'm in the parking lot of Skyline. These dudes walk out. These beta dudes kind of walk up, whatever, nerdy looking dudes. And one of them sneezes. Big wet sneeze. I mean, he must have been 8 feet away from me, but he's walking towards me, sneezes. The wind was blowing the other way. Had that dude sneezed on me, I would have knocked him out. I would have beat his fat ass. I'm not lying to you. I would have beat his fat ass. And when the police showed up, I would have asked to press charges against him because I was defending myself. He sneezed on me. I ain't joking. I ain't joking. You know what I mean? Cover your fucking mouth. Don't come over here sneezing on me and think I'm just gonna let that shit ride. I would have beat dude's ass. So if you out there, you sick, you got the sniffles, man. Come on, just cover up, man. It ain't shit. We ain't about you. It's about the people around you. You know what I mean? So I'm not advocating violence or anything like that, people, but come on, y'all. He knew he was wrong because I was staring. He got my attention. I turned around, gave him all my attention. And he head down. Oh, man. Yeah. He knew better. He could have put his shirt up or whatever. He could have did something. That made me mad. But anyway, thanks for rocking with me, y'all. I just wanted to talk about this. This is, like I said, man, everybody, y'all need to use y'all think tank. Use y'all think tank. Think this shit through. Y'all grown up. Y'all can read, write, and understand. That's what my dad taught me. You need to be able to read, write, and understand. So read this stuff and understand it. If you don't understand it, go find some people who can help you figure it out. Think tank, y'all. Think tank. So yeah, I'm going to go on record now and say I think that California, I think that New York, and I think some other places are going to try to shut down again. I think they're going to shut down. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to try to use these fear tactics. I would encourage all Americans to counter that with the stats. Bro, no, we're not shutting it down over 11 people a week. We're not shutting it down. Right? No. Push back. Say no. I'm not saying, put on your 3-pointed hat and go out there and whatever. Like, these colors don't run. I ain't telling you to do all that stuff. But I am telling you to stand up for yourself and say, nah, man, no. We're not doing that, elected official. And if you back this elected official, we're going to get you out of office. That's all you got to do. Tell your elected official, we ain't doing that, bro. And if we continue to see this push, Mr. Governor, we're going to get you out of office. Simply because Newsom was able to win that recall election doesn't mean we won't do it again. If I'm in California, that's what I'm telling them. And Democrats, please don't back Gavin Newsom for a run at the presidency. Don't do that. Oh my God. No, not him. Not him. But that's another show. We'll do another show, y'all, on politics. Got a show coming up on politics. We'll definitely do that. Don 007, I don't know about what? I don't know about it. Shut down, a slowdown maybe, but a shutdown, complete chaos. Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't shut it down. That's a bad idea. It's a fucking bad idea. There's no reason to do it. I mean, I'm looking at New York, 7-day average 11. You know what I mean? So do the research, y'all. Do the research. Thanks for rocking out with me, man. I really appreciate it, Miss AKA Lady. Snuggle668. Thank you so much. I got to go back and read all that stuff you wrote. I'm sorry I couldn't get to it. DRO4G, thanks for coming through. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you again. For people who are out there ninja watching, please like and subscribe. We're coming up on 500 subscribers, yo. Y'all know Uncle Saint putting in the work. We're coming up on, I think we're at 444 subscribers. So if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. You know what I mean? If you're going to do one or the other, please subscribe. You know what I mean? Wonderful one. Thanks for coming in here. Appreciate you, man. Always being there for a brother. Brother Jason, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Again, I'll be coming. I don't have a thumbnail for it yet, but I'm going to be talking about that young hero who stopped that active shooter. I'm going to be doing that here in a few hours. I'll probably do it around 6 o'clock or so. So be looking for that. I hope you're free. Hope to see you there. Have a good Friday. Thanks for rocking with me. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I am DL Saint. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.